Okay, good morning everyone. So actually I'd like to start off by doing something real quick. So if you guys could all participate, that would be great. On the count of 3, I'm going to have everyone snap their fingers. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so pretty easy for almost everyone. So I came to this realization the other day that there was a point in time where no one could just snap. Granted, this was in about 2nd grade, and well, it's just like you didn't know how to do this action, and it was something that it really required a lot of thought to do. But now, moving into the present, this is an action that comes so naturally to you that you don't even have to think about it. You just snap. Hi, my name is Jessica Latt, and today I'm here to talk about how some of the things that we perceive as easy, in reality, like snapping, it takes a lot of work and struggle in order to do it. And when we say that something is easy, this is because of a reaction that is specifically marketed to the people of the present. The present. So this year, it's 2020. Not only a new year, but a new decade. And I remember people on New Year's Eve posting their final thoughts for 2019 and their hopes and goals for 2020. And throughout this, I remember seeing this really funny challenge called the 10-year challenge. And so the main concept of this is you take a photo of what you look like today, and you compare it to a photo of what you looked like 10 years ago. And to me, I remember just really reflecting and thinking, where was I 10 years ago? Where will I be in 5, 10, or maybe even 20 years into the future? What will the world look like? And these are the moments where I'd already be looking up all of these inspirational quotes and asking myself the deep, hard-hitting questions like, who am I? And if I were to be approached on the up on the street and I had to introduce myself, what would I say? And so, in short, this translates to, I did my own 10-year challenge. And all I can say is 10 years is a lot of time, and a lot of things can change. And 2010, to me, was a completely different era. I still remember watching TV with my family and sitting in the living room and watching shows until I would end up dozing off to sleep. And then magically waking up the next morning back in my own bed. But some of these other days, I remember waking up to the loud, colorful, and abrasive infomercial shouting at me. And what is the thing that I see and hear when I wake up? The Thingamajigger 3000 is easy to do, easy to use, completed in a matter of seconds, and apparently certified by the ancient gods of Narnia. So at this point, I would be sold, and I would be waking my parents up and saying, okay, I have the answer to all of life's greatest problems. We just need a blanket with sleeves to do it. And so everyone in life has a situation where they are scared of something. And one of these things that I've realized is when someone is trying to tell you that something is easy, this is because they are trying to sell you something. So in life, everyone has something that they're so greatly scared of that it gives them physical chills every single time they think about it. For me, this thing was phone calls. I remember, and I just know where to sit in order to be the farthest from my family's landline when the phone rang. However, one day, that all changed. It was a dark and gloomy night. No, I'm just kidding. It was a typical school night in 4th grade, and my family had just decided on ordering takeout. This sounds great, right? But little did I know that I would be the one ordering. And so my family is all gathered around the table, extensively discussing what we're going to order, and then my dad dials the number. Ring, 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 ring. All of a sudden, before I could even realize what is going on, my dad goes, "Okay, here you go, Jess." And before I could even be confused or utter a single denying response, he throws the phone my way. My worst fear has become my reality. I still remember him saying the words, "Think fast." "Yeah, I'll tell you what I'm thinking. Dad, take the phone back. Dad, I can't order this food. Dad, please, take it back, please, please. They're gonna pick up." Hello? Let's just say that this order didn't go exactly as I would have wanted it to. But I still did it. And this would signify the first time out of many that I would do something that I really did not want to do. Everyone comes across situations in life where they have to face challenges that make them uncomfortable, but they do them anyway. And sometimes all you need is for someone to pass you the phone. For me, like I said before, the person to do this was my dad. My dad has always taught me to learn how to find success in the face of adversity and of fear. And when I was younger, these small successes ranged from those same phone calls to even volunteering myself onto a stage in Las Vegas, full of clowns, actually. But these were things that were so nerve-wracking to me, but now I consider embarrassing stories that I can tell my friends and family, or in this case, with all of you. So, and coming from a place where I was too scared to even pick up the phone, I have found myself becoming better at communicating and putting myself in places that I would have never pictured myself in. We all grow up with the phrase, "It takes hard work," ingrained into our heads. Yet, we are still searching for the easiest ways of doing something. The truth of the matter is, no one ever just whips up the best thing that they have ever done. Except sometimes we skip straight to snapping and forgetting that we spend hours on the playground just trying to get there. We forget about the pain and the embarrassment we feel in order to get good at something, once it comes more naturally to us. Or sometimes we actively try and forget it, and instead even purposefully tell ourselves that something was easier after the fact in order to succeed, because we are searching for the easy success that is marketed to us in advertisements. However, what I would like to tell you is that nothing comes easily without hard work. And reflecting on my last 10 years and my growth as a person, I have discovered some tips and some repetition in the things that I've done in order for me to find some of my success. Tip number 1, find motivation. So while my father has always told me to and pushed me to do things that I really they weren't necessarily easy, he's also led by example in doing this my entire life. When I was 2, my family found out that my dad has leukemia. This is a type of cancer that affects a person's blood, and as a result, like many cancers, it causes a person to become very weak. I remember watching him fight and persevere every single day in order for my sister and I to get to know the crazy and goofy person he is today. This is my dad after 3 years since his final round of chemotherapy, running in an Ironman triathlon. Yeah, let's just say that the typical "I'm too tired" excuse while I was playing sports wasn't really valid for me. But I just remember seeing him persevere through these type of challenges and coming out of the other end successful, as well as watching my mom adapt to the situations that were just thrown at us, has been some of my greatest motivators in life, moving forward into the future. And what my family has taught me is that life will throw you these situations, and you will have to find places to be resilient and to be willing to endure this type of pain in order to better yourself. Because your story is based on all of the experiences that you face. Tip number 2, start with the small steps. So, we as viewers and consumers are sold on the images of end results and final products. We are sold the rewards and never truly understand the amount of work it takes for someone to get to where they are today when we see an image pop up on our screen. And this has caused us to have this perception that small steps are still failures. That when we take a small step and it still falls short of that dream ending, that it's bad and that we need to, or we shouldn't even try to do this. However, small steps are the key to success. What I have learned in my life is that taking these small steps allows you right now, allows you in the future to find success a little bit more easy. And the hardest challenge you've ever faced continues to be your newest one. For me, this challenge came last year in my AP Calculus class. At the same time first semester began was the same time that my dad began a new medication and was facing some of the painful side effects that come with it. I remember seeing a loved one in pain, and that was mixed with the fear of an unknown future. And I started to feel myself slipping in this class. I was struggling to find motivation to learn the material or even to find enjoyment in the subject anymore. And I specifically remember coming home one day and him asking, "So Jess, how was your day at school today?" And I was searching for something that I was proud of and I could tell him about, but all I could think about was feeling failure in this class when I took it. And at this moment, I told myself, you know what, Jess, I really want to understand what I'm doing. I want to be proud of myself, and I want my parents and my family to be proud of me. And sometimes in life, you feel so stuck where you are, and that life, there's no moving forward past it. However, this is where you need to take the small steps. So I started taking my small steps by coming into class early in the morning and teaching myself the material that I didn't really understand before. And this allowed me to build up confidence in order for me to, over time, even start enjoying the subject again. I tried to make calculus fun in any way possible, even to the extent of becoming the go-to creator of calculus-inspired pickup lines. I would write these on the board for my entire class to see, and by the end of the class, when we had to take the AP exam, I remember not only feeling like I was going in as an individual, but really feeling like I had built a team around me. And there were a lot of tears shed throughout this entire process, but I remember one final happy, ugly cry being spent with my mom as I got the news over the summer that I had gotten a 5 on my AP Calculus exam. This would mark, for me, one of my biggest moments of strength and of perseverance, and put a big picture idea into a little bit of perspective. That you can really achieve anything you want to in life. You just have to start with the small steps. Tip number 3, recognizing your hard work. So let's take this universal slogan, "It's easy," and put it into a bit of perspective. Just what is being made easy? I mean, you call the 1-800 number and bam, what do you get? When you think of everything that is important to you, whether it be school, sports, a job, a loved one, these are the things that don't just come easily to you. But these are the things that we dedicate most of our time to. There seems to be this common idea that the most valuable things are the things that are made easy for us. I mean, logically, why would we want to do something that is harder or more awkward or more uncomfortable? Instead, it seems logical to invest in the things that are made easy, done for us, and saving us time. But it is now that I encourage you to take a step back and think of anything that you take great pride in and recognize all of the hard work that you have taken in order to get there. Easy is an idea that we need to stop searching for. The hours and hours of practice that you spend in order to get to where you are today is what is important, and it should be taken pride in. Your struggles make up your story because all of the things that you've ever truly cared about haven't just been handed to you. What I've realized in my life so far is that we need to reshape our views of what is considered valuable and make them not what is the easiest. We need to realize that everything that we want doesn't come easily. 2020 is the very beginning of a new 10-year challenge. In 2020, I encourage you to, instead of asking yourself the question, do I have to? Tell yourself that I can. I want to leave you with this. Wish it, dream it, do it. No matter how big or how insignificant an action may seem. Because in some cases, in order to reach these successes, you need to take a leap of faith into a state of uncomfortable. And even then, it may be worth more value than 1,000 thingamajigger 3000s. But because when you look at the universal marketing term, easy, and look beyond it, and truly learn to rely on yourself to persevere through the actions and the challenges that come your way, you will not only be left with the product of your actions, but instead with the innovations. Thank you.